When life feels heavy. At some point in life, everything around you might stop making sense. The job you once prayed for no longer excites you. The home you used to find comfort in starts to feel heavy. You'll feel disconnected from your purpose, unsure about your business, distant from your family, tired of trying to hold it all together. It'll feel like everything is breaking at the same time. And in that weight, you'll feel this aching need to fix yourself, to fix your life, to go back to the starting point and question if you even chose the right direction. Maybe you're already there. Maybe you're standing in the middle of the chaos right now, watching your relationships shake, your finances shrink, your health shift, and wondering if any of it still makes sense. If that's where you are, I want you to pause. Just for a second. And remember how far you've already come. You've carried yourself through more than you give yourself credit for. You've survived days you thought would break you. You'll be okay. As always. Tips for studying math. Don't be afraid of math. You gotta make math your bitch, literally, you just gotta own it. Here's how. Do your homework. Do the handouts your teacher gives you, do your reading, do the work from the textbook and wherever else. There's a direct correlation between the amount of work you put into doing math correctly and your final grade. Know how to solve the types of problems in each unit, you should know them like the back of your hand, inside out. Learn all the possible ways to solve each type of problem. Once you know how to solve the problems and answer different types of questions, put yourself out of your comfort zone. Use decimals or fractions if there were only whole numbers in the work that you saw. Word problems make you cry. You better throw yourself at word problems, legit attack them, own it. Get used to the patterns in homework, but especially the evaluations that your teacher gives out. Are their tests easier than the homework that they give? Is it the other way around? Pay attention to your teacher in class. My teacher drops hints as to how we can get partial bonus marks on questions, which have really boosted my grade, and saved my ass on more than one occasion. Email. When you get to the test, it should be airtight. When you look down at a problem, you shouldn't be thinking, how do I solve this, or testing out different methods. It should be, I recognize this. Push yourself to do extra work, but reward yourself. Usually you'll do the questions that my teacher says are for homework and then go do some extra ones from the chapter test in my textbook, then do a face mask or something. It's literally never too late to start, and starting late. Better than starting never. So if it's the middle of. No one told me the truth about sex before I had a lot of sex. Not the kind of truth that slides into schoolbooks or locker room talk or gets whispered at sleepovers under half-drunk breath. I had to live it. I had to wake up in someone's bed with my soul scraped thin and my body pretending it didn't just memorize a stranger's breath like a love story. I had to learn that the body is an altar, and not everyone deserves to kneel at it. They say sex is just physical. But I've felt the aftershocks of a single night echo through my nervous system for months. I've stayed too long with men who weren't good for me, not because I didn't know better, but because my cells already believed we were one thing. Because oxytocin doesn't understand red flags. Because dopamine will make a prison feel like paradise. Because orgasm isn't just a climax, it's a binding contract written in chemistry and signed in vulnerability. I've watched people confuse intensity for intimacy. I've done it. Skin to skin before heart to heart. Bed before truth, and we think we're modern for that, we call it freedom, but what if it's just a different kind of enslavement? One where we give away pieces of our sovereignty in exchange for a moment of connection we didn't earn. What they don't tell you is this: sex rewires you. It maps your memory, it softens your instincts, it makes you stay when every part of your logic is screaming, run. And even if you tell yourself it doesn't matter, even if you say you're detached, your body still remembers. There is no such thing as casual when your nervous system is that involved. And we don't need to shame the wild. I'm not here to be shaming choices. I believe in sacred chaos. In lust that tastes like lightning. But let's stop pretending that we can fuck like animals and not feel like ghosts when it's over. Accept your pain. Before, I used to scold myself whenever I felt sad. I told myself that it is not okay to feel so low, to let tears spill down my cheeks, to be this vulnerable. You see, we've become so accustomed to putting a mask on in front of the world that sometimes we forget to take it off in front of ourselves too. We forget that being honest with ourselves is the biggest gift we could give our hearts. Listening to our pain, our trauma. Unveiling our scars. Accepting blemishes. Simmering in the sadness rather than pushing it away, rather that clumping sadness, pain, and trauma under a tight heading. Things I don't want to speak about, and locking it away in a compartment in our mind. Accept your pain. Embrace it. Let your heart squirm with emotions, both good and bad, and don't brush away the things that make you sad. Listen to them. Understand them. Because they are as much a part of you as everything else is. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel vulnerable and scared and anxious. Don't be so hard on yourself. You're only human after all. You're only human. Tie that. Something that you can grow yucca muscle. The body grows and evolves, why wouldn't the mind also do this? The problem is that most people resist their mind's growth, because thinking deeply leads thoughts very dark or. Most people's biggest fear is their minds. Unconsciously they limit their mind's power because they're scared of where it will go if they let it off leash. Thinking deeply can lead to losing a sense of who you are because your beliefs start to change the deeper you go. The perceptions you have yourself, your memories, all start to change, and this scares a lot of people, so they hold their minds hostage. Never allowing the mind to step outside of the box. Everyone thinks it is the government, social pressure, the Illuminati, the Jews, the devil or whatever, but really it is you unconsciously placing limitations on your mind. Intelligence comes from a willingness to embrace madness. Intelligence comes from the dark side of the mind, it is highly objective, beyond emotion. You almost step outside of your sense of identity and into this robotic mindset the deeper you go into psychoanalysis. You begin to view everything as it is, instead. Genius and madness interlinked. You have to be willing to embrace the dark side of yourself and reality to understand it as a whole. Too many people block out the negative, and this limits their understanding, which does not allow them to use all aspects of the mind. You have to go out of your mind to create a new mind, or at least expand it. Ditch what you think you know and allow the mind to journey into the unknown. An entire world exists inside your head, very few people willing to worlds though nest and journey into these. The whole idea of having personality will become an illusion to you. Multiple personalities exist inside your head. But they all fight each other for control because your mind needs to let only one of them drive the car. I realized chase was many things, that defining chase was almost impossible to do. So I explored why it was impossible to fully understand who I was. Only to find that who I was incredibly more infinite than I could have ever imagined. Go farther into the unknown aspects of the mind. Click the link in my. Read this when you feel lost. Sometimes life feels like a foggy road. You take steps but you're not sure where you're going. But just by moving forward, you're already on your way. Tough days don't mean you failed. They don't mean it will always be this way. Just remember that every storm eventually passes, and the sky clears again. If you feel lost in 1,000 thoughts, take a deep breath. You don't have to figure it all out right now. You don't have to know all the answers. Just be still for a moment, and remind yourself that you're stronger than you think. Taking care of yourself isn't weakness, it's part of the path to growth. Let rest, quiet, and kindness toward yourself be part of your tough days. You'll get through this, just as you have before. In a small, dustly yet fumed with fresh jasmine, she resides, a woman bath captivating and elusive. The flickering candlelight dances across her features, captivating and elusive. The flickering candlelight light dances across her features, casting shadows that thinly hint at her wager. She moves with a grace like Dracula's step, deliberate, as if she is navigating a world not bound by the ordinary. Her deep and shimmering holding secrets of past lives woven into their depths. They reflect a winden that trocks her years, as if she has lived many in diverse realms. Her mindling gaze is unnerving, leaving you breathless and perspective, yearning to understand the reflection of your own WN heat. Her hair like a waterfall of shadows, dark and lustrous, framing her taste with wild eloquence. Loose tendrils escape her braid, brushing against her skin, suggesting a life lived freely, unconfined of deep indigo travaic she ms that bind most. A dew adorned in flowing garmerits nch emerald she illustrates the earth and sky, the fluidity of eastness of stone fock piece of fabric whispers tales of distant woven frust the threads of cultures she has cucumbered sorians and elixirs from fan ancient renial. The of lavender, rose, and sage light of the mo move me of colors, vibn promise railing for the wearers lonely. She understands the language of nature, Karth and its inhalnianes, harnessing its gifts mundane though she engages the world observer in a realm of egu, demon to her like Mose crushes parace and roots, with a Kale's glass for the confused, love symbiotic relationship create magic that ours her, there is a palpable distance, as if she designed friends and captivated by her aura. They seek her counsel, sharing their fears and she listens open heart, offering wisdom wrapped in metaphor poetry. Each conversation is a dance, a delicate balance between vulnerability strength, leaving those who encounter her feeling both seen and doctored. In ohms fluid. Hours slip away unnoticed as she shares journeys through an ancient forest where the trees whispered to a bustling market in a distant land where exer spices danced enigma spent under a speaks not just of places, but of emotions. Universe revealed its threads that bind humanity together in the areas of existence. In the of the night, she sometimes gazes up at the stars, fording comed and apart from the universe. Each twinkle seems to echo her own desires, a reminder that the of infinite. The common burk her, whispering affirmations of adventures to discern. She knows that her journey is far from over, that there are still paths to explore and mysteries to uncover. And so, in her quiet, mystic way, she continues to weave her story a garment of enchantment and intrigue, a life lived in shades of twilight. Unnamed, yet unforgettable, she exists as a reminder of the destiny found in the enigmatae, the magic in the users, and the philosophical connections that bind us all, even when we feel most alone. A confusing maybe is just a slow no. If you're bet gaming where you stand, why you're there, or whether they truly value you, it's time to walk away. Shop playing games where you always end up drained and unknars real cocktails don't keep you up at night, replaying every word they said, trying to decode Mayan signals. How to quantum jump. 1. Collapse the past, stop recycling the version of you built for survival. That identity served a purpose, but it doesn't match the frequency of your higher self. Honor it and release it. 2. Name the frequency. Feel the state of the reality you're entering. What does that version of you feel like in the body? Connect with the vibrational frequency of your desired self. 3. Rewire the loop. Every thought is a vote for the old or the new. Speak in present tense codes. I am aligned with my higher path is a bridge. I hope I get there someday is a delay. 4. Evict the residue. Identity leaves a trail. Clear the habits, apps, clothes, activities, language, and people that echo the previous version. Make space for what's already aligned. 5. Embody the evidence. What does this version of you tolerate? What do they create? Collapse the gap between concept and conduct through real embodiment. 6. Tune the temple, your body is the bridge. Quantum shifts require somatic safety. Refine your inputs, like food, breath, sound, light, movement, until your system trusts the timeline. 7. Seal the timeline with action, the universe responds to demonstration, not just intention. Make one bold, undeniable move that affirms your shift. Do it as the one who already is. 8. Stay in the field, if doubt reappears, return to the frequency. Re-enter the posture, pace, and clarity of that timeline. Repeat until integration makes repetition unnecessary. Silent panic attack signs. Fed heartbeat. Your heart might feel like song really fawn proch diap breathing costal slowly through your rose for a count of 4, hold for foo and exhale through your mouth for 4. Hard to fire there you might feel like you can't get enough air or are breathing too quickly focus on diaphragmatic breathing. Place oat hand on your abdomen and breathe deeply, ring your belly thes and faster than just your chest. Sweating, you could sweating a lot, even if it's not bore stay cool and comfortable wear breathable clothing and keep your warmart wel vented. If you start sweating, token moment to step qtud or ints a cooler. Shaking, your hands or body might tremble or shake engage in grounding werik, such as pressing your feet into the floor or holding art study object to mobilize yourself. Chest tightness it might feel like there's a heavy weight on your chi pracha progressive muscle relaxation fans and the relaxok muscle group, starting from your toes and working up to your hand, to release on. Feeling dizzy, you could feel wobbly or like they might fall over sit down in a safe. Close and fun on your breathing if possible, close your eyes and visualize it coming until the dizziness sobides. Stomach yupist, you might feel sick to your stomach acid heavy mees and cough sign if you're feeling obvious instead, try ripping on ginger help to your mock peppermint 10, which calm. Fosling hot or cold, you might suddenly lol really hot or really cold layer your clothing so you can adjust and need it if you feel hot, remove a layer, could, add one. Also, take a moment to truth deeply and ground yourself tingling, you might lead weird sensations in your hands or fair gently shake your hands and feet to release tension. You can also try massaging your hands and feet to insere correlation. Feeling waned you will like you're not really in your body or like things or grunil unel by focusing on your semes. None live things you can't see, hour you can't touch, free you can't hear 2 you can't smell and 1 you can taste. There is nothing wrong with you. It's perfectly fine if your life doesn't look like everyone else's. We're taught that life should follow a certain path: school, career, success, family, stability. But the truth is, life rarely unfolds the way we expect. Some people find their direction early, stepping into opportunities, building businesses, growing families, moving forward with certainty. Others take longer, wandering through detours, questioning their choices, changing course when things don't feel right. And then there are those who still don't know where they belong, trying to make sense of the endless possibilities, feeling like time is slipping away while everyone else seems so sure. But life is not a race, and your journey is not less valuable just because it looks different. Sometimes, life will take you off course, push you backward, make you start over once, twice, maybe many times. You will lose yourself. And then, piece by piece, you will find yourself again. It's frustrating. It's exhausting. But it's also the quiet beauty of being human. There's nothing wrong with going through experiences that perfectly define being alive. It feels like tearing away a piece of yourself, like trying to breathe with half a heart. Because love alone lust always muff. Because sometimes holding on hurus more than letting go. Loving someone doesn't automatically mean they're good for you. It doesn't mean they meet you where you need to be met. Or that they bring out the best in you. And yet, knowing that doesn't make it any easier to leave. Because despite the pain, despite the way they fall short, a part of you still want to stay. Letting go of someone you love isn't just painful, it's terrifying. It means choosing to walk through grief with your eaves wide open, knowing you could turn hack but forcing yourself not to. It means resisting the urge to reach for them in moments of weakness, reminding your will that love isn't meant to feel like a war between your heart and your peace. The truth in you can love someone deeply and still have to let them go. Not because the love ain't real, but because it won't right. And that will never be an easy choice, but it will always be the one that sets you free. The butterfly effect. You need to stay. And you need to stay loudly. You're afraid of making bad choices, but the truth is this: the tiniest actions will influence the course of the rest of your life and you cannot control it. So many factors play a part in you being here today: a delayed train, an extra cup of tea, the number of seconds your parents took to cross the street. This is chaos theory. Sensitivity. Mathematics. You are here. And every choice you have ever made has led you to right now, reading this. While you exist, every movement and moment matters. Those bad choices led you to the best days of your life, if you were to play it all and rewind. Change will come, even if you're standing still. Butterflies will keep flapping their wings and causing hurricanes. So, make your choices and make them loud. Trust your gut. Trust energy. And if you cease to exist, oh, the universe would notice. The mess that would make. The hearts that would break. So just stay. Stay for bad choices. Stay for great ones. Stay cause a few hurricanes. The ones who quietly become everything. They don't announce themselves. They don't try to impress or force their way into your world. They just stay. Slowly. Softly. Steadily. They ask how your day was and actually listen. They remember the little things you forgot you even said. They don't fill the silence with noise, they sit in it with you, making it feel less lonely. Around them, you stop performing. You don't have to explain your moods, your fears, your past. They don't need you to be better or fixed. Just you is enough. And somehow, without even trying, they become the safest place you know. They never demand your energy, but always give you theirs. They don't love you with fire and drama, they love you with quiet consistency, with soft eyes, with hands that never let go when things get hard. That kind of presence is rare. Most people want attention. These people want connection. And if you're lucky enough to find someone like that, don't wait for a perfect moment to appreciate them. Tell them. Show them. Hold on. Because in a world full of loud exits and hollow promises, the ones who quietly stay and love you gently are everything.